I immigrated to Sweden last year. Unexpectedly, a crisis hit us in southern Sweden now that I will tell and show you about in this video. While last summer I had to do the van life thing, looking for a house, this is my first full year on my property and in the forest behind my cozy cottage. And besides the renovation that needs to be done, it would be a crime to not live life to the fullest during this beautiful Swedish summer. My dog Vicky and I made some new friends, cows on a meadow behind my house. Furthermore, I had family visiting lately, my son and my niece, and I will show some of the footage of that in this video and some in the following videos. My niece and I visited an international sand sculpture event in Kalmar, on Sweden's east coast. There were teams from Canada, Mongolia, Lithuania, Latvia, Poland, Norway and Sweden, of course. It was packed, and to avoid filming the people around us, I had to go quite close to the sculptures. After that, my niece was eager to help me with the renovation project. The sanding of my main entrance door didn't really remove the old paint, so we had to buy a chemical paint remover. However, in the town nearby, there was none to get, and we had to order it. By the time it came in, her vacation was already over, so I will be left with working on the door myself. In the meantime, I was mowing the lawn so my niece could paint the raised beds. I've always wanted to learn to play disc golf. At a disc golf course we went, there are even discs there. My niece is a novice too, so welcome to the show. Witness two totally first-timers. We tried different techniques, and surrounding players couldn't stand watching that and showed us some moves. Eventually it got dark before we even finished the course. But besides all the trial and error, We had a lot of fun on a hot summer evening. I was just chilling inside when I out of a sudden heard loud noise next to my property. And look at this. I would like to give you a preview on my next video now, because we have received a drought warning. At this point, it's a garden hose ban. So you cannot use any water through the garden hose to, I don't know, fill up your pool, to water the lawn. And the reason is that we had like a really, really hot period and it hasn't rained in a while. Now, actually, it rained the past 3 days, but I think the warning is still in effect. And while you may think that everything looks normal, here you can see it. I mean, it looks like fall, right? Fall colors. But really, they don't get enough water. You can see that I have these old cherry trees. They're not really holding any cherries, but here it's the same thing. The leaves are changing the color. This is due to a lack of water. And coincidentally, there is a patch of grass that I haven't mowed. And then there's this, totally dried out. And, well, I guess it makes sense. You wouldn't expect any different. And that will be actually one of my measures. Oh, and I have to apologize. In an earlier video, I showed that I found this behind my house, but I haven't really shown it. So, my apologies. This will become a grill. But let's get back to the topic of water shortage. You can see, like, this is all just... There are patches without any grass, actually. And then here there's more of yellowish plants. I have to tell you, this restrictions of water use is only for people that are connected to the grid, so to a water main, basically, to city water. And I am not. I have a well, so I'm not affected by that water hose ban and drought notice. However, it made me think of what I can do to save water and preserve water. And I have a couple of ideas. Actually, there is something in my van just right now. You know what? Let's have a look. Okay, so I bought something yesterday for that purpose. Too big. I have to open both doors. Well, and this is one way to get into water preserving, water saving, but I'll get to that in my next video. So yeah, that will be something that I will show in my next video. I have brainstormed already of things I can do to, well, manage my water consumption. So basically what I did is I came up with a list of, a list with 3 items, and the items are not the particular things that I can do, but an item like short-term things, so things that I can do right away, then mid-term and long-term. And yeah, I will present that in my next video. And in the meantime, if you are doing that already, if you are managing your water consumption already, well, leave a comment, please. And I mentioned that in an early video. I really appreciate experience over opinion. So yeah, if I may ask you to help me out by sharing your experience. And last but not least, this video is quite short, but there are 2 reasons for that. Reason number 1 is, well, I had visitors here, my niece and my son, and I recorded things with them, but I'll show them in another video because they are very, it's like a specific topic. Well, if you like trains, let's leave it like that. There will be a video coming out. And if you like waterways, there will be another video coming out. Let me show you very quickly. That being said, I've got some big news. It's a little bit premature, but let's see if it works out next week already. I want to switch to a weekly video posting. So every week, every Friday, 6 p.m. Stockholm time. Um, and so I'm working hard on that right now. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I hope it works out. You will see next week if this was just too premature, but yeah, I'm working hard on it. And that next video will be about water managing. Yeah, that's the preview or the pre-talk. There's nothing to show, so not really a view. But anyways, thank you so much for being on board today. And yeah, let's enjoy the following sequence of clips that I recorded when I was on a dog walk with Vicky last night. I just love the evening sun. And unfortunately, there were a few clouds in the way, but yeah, just look for yourself.